Oh, hello, readers. I'm CJ Bernstein. And here's a thing I'm going to try, which is a video blog. And the reason I'm doing this is because I started a blog section on my website prior to the Monarch papers starting, or Accurately Green's Guide to Magic, which is what we were calling it before. And I thought that in addition to running this campaign and writing books that are coming out over the next few years, that I could also somehow maintain a blog, which has not turned out the way I thought it would. Literally every spare word I have is dedicated to the narrative, the game. So I haven't had time to do that. So I thought maybe if I could do one what is it called? A blog entry a week, sort of get face to face-ish. Here's actually, so I remember to look at the camera. Here's your face. It's a little felt adipose from Doctor Who. So that's who I'm talking to right now. That we could like stay in communication, because in the break between phase 1 and phase 2 of the Monarch papers, I sent you guys some emails that you may or may not have had a chance to read. And the people who did read it sent back responses and sent back questions and sent back support, and it was incredible. And it was nice to interact with you guys outside of the narrative. And I thought, man, I wish I was doing that blog, because then we could keep that communication open, where you could leave comments on Facebook or email me or on the blog. And I just literally don't have the bandwidth to do one more thingy right now. But I can do this possibly. And I want this to be sort of an open channel for us to continue communication that doesn't interrupt the narrative. So I don't have to just wait in between downtimes. So that's why I'm doing this. And what I think the format will sort of be like, here's what I'm doing this week, pretty opaquely, because I can't tell you a lot of things because everything is a mystery. So I thought this would be a great way to stay in touch in a way that doesn't interfere with the narrative. So this is the week of November 20th, Thanksgiving week, also known as the week I shock people with how much food I can consume. I'm trying to kill a bunch of stuff earlier in the week, because even though I will plan a full day of work around Wednesday and Thursday, it's probably not going to happen. So I didn't bring it up, but I'm bulleting, and it's funny whenever I see other people do bullet journaling. If you don't know what bullet journaling is, Google bullet journaling. They have maybe 2 or 3 things to do a week in their or a day on their task list, and I think that's hysterical, because I think something like 18 or 20 things to do today. All for you, adipose. So I'm doing my journal, keeping track of that, knowing that by the end of the week I will not have time to do much, because I will be eating and or napping. It's finally fall. 2 days ago it was something like 65 degrees, and now it's 39 degrees, and I'm always super excited about winter. I love winter. I grew up in the South, and I like the cold. I like layers. I like having 2 or 3 months out of the year where I'm not sweating. And I always say I like winter, but then it sort of ends up looking like this. So this is the very first piece of official Magic Verse swag. This is my own personal shirt. That's right. I'm an Ebengard. This shirt is huge. I'm an Ebengarder. Did you guys decide on what that is? I'm depending on you guys. Come on, help me out. So the problem is this shirt is giant, and the symbol I think is a little too small. But I'm super pumped to have the first bit of merchandise, which is only for me, not for sale. That guy? I don't know him. Well, I sort of know him. Here's the thing. I threw the shirt on the keyboard and stopped the recording. Nothing untoward happened while I was away. I was saying, there are people walking by and there's noise everywhere because I have an office at WeWork, which is a sort of co-working space. And yeah, so you're going to hear people. These are not my employees. It's just me in the spacious 150 square feet of Ackerley Green, which is like a really lovely walk-in closet that's encased in glass and metal. So sorry for the echo and the heels and the talking, but I wanted to do this so that I already told you that. Let's see. This week, you guys are headlong into the fifth fragment, which is an exciting circumstance. This is going to be hard to tell you what I'm doing this week without giving anything away, but I will try. We're working on fifth fragments, waiting for you guys to solve. I'm working on the overall phase 2 puzzle. I'm going to have to edit out so much stuff to not tell you anything. And the big key with phase 2 is I'm looking at what you guys enjoyed, how you played, what you were into. And in this phase, I'm going to find ways for the narrative experience to sort of interact with the puzzle experience a little more. So it crosses paths more often. And when I say we, I'm talking about my marketing guy, Brad, and my friends, Johnny and Simon, who are helping me keep all of this afloat, and I would not be able to do without them, and their ideas are incredible, and that's sort of the loose Ackerley Green team right now. But yeah, that's basically what's going on. This week, we'll see how this goes. If you guys are into this, maybe I'll keep doing it. So please let me know, because if you're like, I don't care about this, then I'm not going to waste the time, and I'll focus on the narrative. We also have a big project coming up in December that is related to the Monarch Papers, but is not a part of the Monarch Papers. But you guys can be a part of it too, which is super exciting. And that's what I'm gearing up to. I'm gearing up now to plan to build it in December, and you guys will hear about it in January. But yeah, it's exciting, and good luck to you on the fifth fragment. A clue is only a magic word away, and I'll see you guys around. See you next week. Bonus material. There was one thing I forgot to tell you about adipose. Adipose. Not at me, adipose. One thing I forgot to tell you about, I wanted to talk about what I'm reading right now, because the key to writing is reading a ton. That's one of the things I learned from Stephen King, not personally, just from reading his book on writing, that has always stuck with me, that you cannot be a writer if you're not a reader. And I didn't grow up reading. We're not going to get into that now. Just read about it in my blog, in my About section. But I wanted to tell you what I'm reading right now, this week, not currently, this week. The first is a book my friend, dear friend Chris, gave me. He found in an old bookstore. It's called The Book That Never Was. Is that perfect for me or what? Everything about it is incredible. So, The Book That Never Was. The argument. How William Morris and Edward Burne-Jones attempted to make of the earthly paradise a big book with lots of stories and pictures. How they fared in their endeavor, and how their dream, though it evaded them, has yet outlived them. I mean, this was made specifically for me, it feels like. Can I? Illustration? Oh, that was illustrations, sketches, a mystery, a book that never was. So I'll let you know how that is. I'm just going to start that today. And then last summer, I went to the Society for Children's Book Writers and Illustrators Conference in LA. It was my first time. Overall, it was a very cool experience. But I saw a keynote from John Klassen, the illustrator there. The illustrator, I saw a keynote, whatever. And someone I met there said I had to read this book that's a little more grown up called The Nest, illustrated by John Klassen. Deckled edges. Love that. So I'm going to also give this a read today. This is what I'm capable of reading right now. A tiny picture book and a book that looks like it's about 70 pages. But I'm trying. Every week is progress on my road to becoming a better reader. So that's what I'm reading today. Ending bonus content now. Have a wonderful week. Solve the crap out of that puzzle. And I'll see you next week.